And why is that 500 million pesos well invested? It used to take 1 hour just to cross the river in Sarat. And you had to go through Lawag to go from the farms of Sarat to the market of Sarat. But now, with that bridge, it's only 5 minutes, a very important farm-to-market bridge. We have other big-ticket items, such as the Lawag River Flood Control. In Pangasinan, the Agro River Flood Control. In fact, later today, we will visit the Agro River project in Pangasinan. We have not yet even counted in this 1,000 kilometers the La Union-Pangasinan-Tarlac Expressway, which will make it so easy to come to Ilocos when that is done years from now. Later today, we will go to Rosario de Union to launch that build, operate, and transfer projects. Well, of course, Ilocos is quite far. We want to make it nearer with these improved roads, but we also need upgraded airports, and we have done that. 2 of the upgraded airports have been elevated to international status, Lawag and Poro Point International Airports. Those are important for the transport of people and the transport of our agricultural products. For instance, our friends from the Middle East, why are they coming to look at the Philippines? The Philippines is, I understand, one of the top 5 choices for investments from the Middle East on agribusiness and food. They started doing this in 2008 when there was a food crisis. Of course, you remember the food crisis 2 years ago. That affected the whole world, including the Middle East, which is mostly desert. Therefore, it is not self-sufficient in agriculture, and they experience a very great difficulty in importing their food requirements. So after that, they made a decision that they would use their accumulated petrodollars to look at other countries where they can produce agribusiness products for exportation back to the Middle East. They went to maybe like 20 countries, brought it finally down to 5 countries as finalists, and the Philippines is one of them. And I am glad that agribusiness, North Luzon Quadrangle is one of the choice areas for these investments. Isu nga, para dagiti manalon tayo, importante ti tulong, ti infrastruktura. So we have built, especially for our farmers, or rehabilitated irrigation systems to water 156,000 hectares. In 2001, it was only 16,000. One of the important irrigation projects is in Ilocos Sur, the Banawang Irrigation Project, which we also visit today. And to further encourage agricultural development, we distributed 48,000 hectares of agricultural lands. Whether in agriculture or in other sectors, the people of Region 1 have benefited from increased release also to finance micro, small, and medium enterprises. In the last 5 years, hampay counting the last 10 years, 5 billion has been loaned out to 200,000 clients in this region. And to help in the skills, TESDA has enabled almost 60,000 trainings just for 1 year, 2009. We have attained gains in the quality of education in Region 1, and I am glad that MMSU is one of the centers of excellence for education. Going to basic education, the biggest gains are in the retention rate in elementary grades, meaning keeping children in school. Because in the past, in grade school, there was a 9% dropout rate. Now it has gone down to 4%. So the dropout rate has gone down to 1/2. That is in grade school. The same thing in high school. It used to be 8% dropout rate, it is now down to 4%. Among the reasons for this, sapay kuma, are the scholarships. I don't know if you know it, young ones, but even in private schools, half of the students are on government scholarships. And that is something that is new, that quantity is new. Nangaramid tayo, iti energy and environmental policy. Nakaaramid met iti ad-addo nga trabaho, nang ibaba ti reliance si energy, agapo kadagiti sa bali nga pagilian, kanagiten iti blueprint para iti green and sustainable economy. I'd like to congratulate Region 1 for hosting the first commercial windmill farm, the Bangi Bay Wind Project in Ilocos Norte, which now provides electricity for the whole town and has reduced the oil dependence of the region and the country as a whole. And for rural folks, if you remember the beginning of my statement, in the year 2000, ado nga barangay nga awan ti kuryente. I'm very happy that today, in Region 1, all the barangays already have electricity. Iti pagpili iti nasyat katrabaho, when clean economy is a false choice. Mabalin tayo nga maardan iti rumangrangay nga ekonomiya, ken iti berde, healthy economy. And we have achieved that in our last 9 years in office. Magibati tayo iti legacy of hard work, a strong and stable economy. A renewed global engagement. Kadwan, dagiti, sumsumrek na investors. Major investments in healthcare and education. Kasla dagiti investments tayo to education, toy MMSU. And dramatic improvements in physical infrastructure, as I was mentioning some examples earlier. In fact, I was so happy driving from the airport through Lawag to Sarat to see how many things there are now in the skyline of Lawag. The many new dormitories for students, which means bustling education, many nice developments for housing, like the one of Robinson's, beautiful malls. And so these are signs, visible signs of progress, not only government infrastructure, but private sector investments. Ado pa iti masapol nga aramiden, ngem determinado tayo nga ipasa to a new government, a new Philippines, one that is ready for bringing our nation to the verge of first world in 20 years. But to do that, free and fair elections are important. And you, the students, need to get involved in a positive way in the civic life of the nation. That is why I felt that for a regional tour, I must have a visit to a school, and I chose MMSU to be the school to visit. So one that I ask you to do is to be involved in civic life. Two that I ask you to do is to encourage a no guns, no violence campaign. I think it is the young people who can do this campaign, so we can try to change the culture of violence. Young people of this region and all of the youth of the land, we, your elders, count on you to be bold, not for yourselves only, but for others, for your family, your friends, the generations after you, and for our beloved Philippines. I remember when I was young long ago, full of dreams, and I know you are full of dreams. Dreams that will bring our country to greater glory and give the Filipinos the quality of life that we deserve. And I can only pray that during these past 9 years of our administration, we gave you the means to be able to dream those dreams and the foundation on which you can make your dreams for yourselves and for our country come true. Yusagina kada kayo amin. Thank you.